What up, world? Welcome to Full Sail Live. I'm AJ Johnson. NFL free agency is upon us, so we have plenty to talk about. Perhaps the biggest story comes out of Green Bay, where Aaron Rodgers has agreed to stay for his 18th season and quite possibly the remainder of his career. Earlier today, Pat McAfee joined the Get Up crew to give us a little more insight as to what went into this decision.
This year, he wanted to separate himself from everything and kind of figure out what he actually wanted long-term, in the near future, and what he really thinks is the best option for him. So although I think he understood that there were some teams interested and maybe he would have dabbled in those particular thoughts, for him, I think how long he wanted to play, if he wanted to play, was much bigger a part of the conversation and the decision-making process than where he was inevitably going to go other than the Packers, in my personal opinion.
We were just hours away from the 2021 NFL Draft when ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that Aaron Rodgers was disgruntled with the organization and no longer wished to play for them. Rodgers cited unhappiness with the drafting of Jordan Love in the first round, the lack of involvement on roster decisions, and the overall trust the team had in him. Now the two sides were able to reach an agreement and work on their relationship, and judging by Rodgers' second consecutive MVP, I'd say it turned out pretty well. Rodgers followed up his best statistical season with another one for the ages, throwing one fewer interception than in 2020 and posting his fourth consecutive year of over 4,000 yards passing. Now, no formal agreement has been signed, but a deal is expected to be made before the new league year begins on March 16th at 4 p.m. Aaron Rodgers isn't the only big-name quarterback to top the headlines today. Earlier in Houston, a grand jury declined to indict Deshaun Watson on 9 of the 10 criminal complaints filed against him. After nearly a year of wondering, Watson can finally begin to take the steps to continue his NFL career.
It's definitely a very emotional moment for me. I know we're far from being done of handling what we need to handle on the legal side, but today is definitely a big day, and I'm going to keep fighting to rebuild my name and rebuild my appearance in the community. And we're going to continue to, on the legal side, off the field, handle what we need to handle, but also ready to get back on the field, being prepped for that.
And when he's on the field, Watson is viewed as a franchise-changing QB. When he last played, the Texans' offense was much more explosive, averaging 8 more points and nearly 100 more yards per game. Russell Wilson is the newest member of the Denver Broncos. One of the biggest trades in NFL history has Seattle receiving Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and multiple first and second round picks in exchange for the former Super Bowl champion. Carson Wentz is also on the move as the Indianapolis Colts agree to send him to the Washington Commanders. Wentz only played 1 year for the Colts, as members of the organization stated that he was uncoachable and lacked leadership. Wentz will find himself on his third team in as many years. So now what's left for the rest of the QB-needy teams? Here's a look at the top 5 free agent quarterbacks by popular opinion. A list that includes former number 2 overall picks Marcus Mariota and Mitchell Trubisky, and is topped by former number 1 overall pick Jameis Winston. Winston, coming off of that torn ACL, has already made big strides to a return. He'll look to come back strong in 2022. That's going to do it for this edition of Full Sail Live. Be sure to tune in at 11 when we get you caught up with the rest of the NFL news ahead of this free agency period. Welcome into Full Sail Live at 11. I'm AJ Johnson, and we start with breaking news. Tom Brady is back. Just a short while ago, the future Hall of Famer took to Twitter to announce that he'd be returning to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the upcoming 2022 NFL season. Here's Brady's statement, and I quote, "These past 2 months, I've realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands. That time will come, but it's not now. I love my teammates and I love my supportive family. They make it all possible. I'm coming back for my 23rd season in Tampa. Unfinished business, LFG." Brady originally announced his retirement on February 1st. Here's Adam Schefter on what went into the change of heart.
It's been 40 days since Tom Brady retired, and I think as he stepped back and reflected in his statement, he did not feel like the time was right now, and he certainly seemed to thank his family, which I think would help him along in this process and help usher him to this decision. He never stopped loving football. He never thought that he could stop playing football. But the fact of the matter is he was ready to walk away until he wasn't.
Last season, Brady carried on with his legendary career and broke a few records along the way. Let's take a look at some of those momentous plays. Week 4 at New England, the team Brady spent 20 years of his career with. Brady finds Mike Evans down the right side for 28 yards and breaks Drew Brees' record for most passing yards in a career. Week 18 versus the Carolina Panthers, Brady passes right for 3 yards to Mike Evans, gets the touchdown, and another Drew Brees record for most completions in a single season. And Week 7 against the Chicago Bears, Evans comes through again as Brady throws his 600th passing touchdown, the first player in NFL history to do such a thing. Evans was on the receiving end of many of Brady's records, and that connection looks to get even stronger as the 2022 season approaches. It's been all about the returns today as another future Hall of Fame quarterback has chosen to stay in the Bay. Aaron Rodgers tells the Packers that he will in fact return for his 18th season and beyond. The two camps are now working on a cap-friendly deal that should keep the quarterback in Lambeau into his 40s. Now that deal will have to be inked before the start of the new league year, otherwise Rodgers will carry a cap hit of over $46 million. Deshaun Watson is set to return to the NFL after a grand jury declined to indict him on 9 of the 10 criminal charges filed against him. Multiple teams are interested in the 3-time Pro Bowler, who would have to waive a no-trade clause before being moved. Watson's set to speak with the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints in the next 48 hours in hopes of settling where he will suit up for the 2022 season. The Denver Broncos went all in to get Russell Wilson under center for the 2022 season. The massive trade includes a QB swap as they send Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and Shelby Harris to Seattle, along with the 2022 and a 2023 first and second round pick. Now, it's no secret the Broncos believed they were just a quarterback away, and now they have one of the best veterans in the league. Wilson joins a loaded division of signal callers with Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Derek Carr. Here's a look at some of the other deals being discussed during the legal tampering window. Jacksonville may have got their guy with Christian Kirk coming over on a 4-year deal. And the Vegas Raiders are happy they got Max Crosby to resign on a $98 million extension. These agreements become official after the start of the new league year on March 16th, likely followed by so many more deals that we're going to cover for you right here on Full Sail Live. Until next time, I'm AJ Johnson. Thanks for tuning in.